I'm Melissa Francis, and here's what's money tonight. Is Tesla about to get totaled? One of the auto industry's best experts says yes, and she's here to explain why. Its epic run is sure to come to an end. Plus, if chemical weapons aren't bad enough, Bashar al-Assad now says he's got even worse, and he's not afraid to use them against Israel. We've got an expert to tell us how worried we should be. And who made money today? They're having no problems earning after their keep. They're having no problems earning their keep after being called up to the big stage. Sorry about that. Stay tuned to find out who it is. Even when they say it's not, it's always about money. Tesla on a marathon hot streak. The stock is skyrocketing. Elon Musk is the new Steve Jobs. He is Iron Man, for God's sake. It's an unstoppable force. But one auto expert isn't drinking the Kool-Aid. She says there are massive roadblocks up ahead and that Tesla is racing towards implosion. The car coach Lauren Fix is here. Lauren, always great to see you. You say the institutional money has already fled. Is that true?
Well, that's from what I'm reading, and this is all from the financial industries, because I'm not a financial expert like yourself. I work in the auto industry. It said that all the institutions have pulled away, and what's left is speculators and a lot of day traders. So right now, today, they boosted the price up a little over $2 a share. If it were me, I'd be selling. But like I said, I'm not a financial expert. I can tell you about the car facts. And
that's right. I mean, you talk about...
listeners and viewers can make a decision.
For example, it advertises that it costs about $600 a month to own a Tesla, but you say it costs a lot more than that.
Right. Well, it says $580 a month, and the average person will say, "Wow, I think I could afford $580 a month. That's not too bad." I mean, most people are paying around that price for a car. So when you look into the real numbers, what's going on is the state of California and all the dealership group is really unhappy because they're not allowed to it's like external packing. They're saying that, with all the gas savings and the maintenance savings and the fact that you're going to get the $7,500 federal tax credit that's after adjusted gross income, and you're going to get the $1,500 from the state, and you could potentially get municipalities and everything else. Sure, you could bring the price down even less, but the fact is only 20% of Americans actually can get that discount, that $7,500, because if you take your adjusted gross taxes and you see what that number is, if you owe $7,500 or more, you can take the full credit. If your taxes are only $5,000, it's $5,000. There's no pushing the rest of the numbers forward. That's all you get. So, and you're not paying that up front. Now, also note that if you have a leasing company and you buy an EV car, the leasing company does own that car, so they actually get the tax credit, and it's up to them to offer it to you.
That's true. That's a great point.
They own the car.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. I mean, another thing that's difficult to reconcile with the fact that the stock is up 460% so far this year.
It seems a bit odd.
I mean, it's a lot. I mean, you don't want to get in the way of something like that. At the same time, you have to look at the fact that Tesla loses more than $11,000 on each car. How do they make up for that?
Right. Well, they lose $11,400 on each car, and how are they making it for that? It's actually really smart. I've always said Elon Musk is a phenomenal marketer, and he's a really smart man. He is using the California ZEV credits, which are the carbon tax credits that he's getting, and he's selling them to other manufacturers that need those in order to meet all the government regulations. So currently, Honda's buying them. However, the open market is always happening, and Nissan sells a lot of Leafs, and they're doing really well, and they're taking their credits and they're creating a marketplace for all these credits. So currently, he's making a certain amount of margin. But when Nissan gets in the marketplace, and now Ford's got EV cars, and everyone's bringing in these EV cars, everyone's going to sell their excess credits. And of course, supply and demand, basic economics 101. He may not be making as much money in the profit margin department as he was. But the followers will follow him anywhere, and that's always going to be the case with Elon Musk.
Yeah, government engineering at its finest, though, with those credits. You mentioned the Leaf.
Yes.
And that is one of the big issues, is that Tesla is facing growing competition from other car companies now in this same space. Do you think it's getting more fierce?
Absolutely. Almost every manufacturer is coming up with a plug-in car. The Nissan Leaf has had really good sales. Ford has EV cars. BMW is bringing in an EV car. Almost every single manufacturer is bringing in an EV car. Fiat has the 500e. They sold them out. And actually, it was really smart of Chrysler to produce the 500 on an E basis, because then they didn't have to worry about the California legislation that said that you had to sell electric cars in California. So they used their co-brand of Fiat instead of taking a Dart and making it electric, which was a genius move on Chrysler's part.
Another problem, they don't have enough service locations, but a lot of the problems that you mentioned, they have been out there in the ether. So why do you think that even with all of these things, I mean, together it sounds terrible for Tesla, but people get more and more excited about the stock. Can you explain it? And what would make it derail at this point?
Well, there's going to be some issues, of course, getting into certain states with the dealer franchising law. Every state has their own franchising laws. So in certain states like Texas, their dealer group said, listen, if you're not going to play at the same level we are, then you're not going to sell your vehicles in this state. So they're not selling it as a dealership, but you can buy the car. You can buy it online. I mean, you can buy it at a local mall and drive it there. They can't stop. However, a lot of dealers are trying to stop it because it's not fair competition.
Okay.
They all deal on a different level, and dealerships really are trained as separate businesses like a McDonald's to take care of their customers.
Lauren, you make a compelling case. Thanks for coming on.